Monday the 5th of June 2023. This is another one of that what the fuck moments, and the title of this moment is what the fuck, you SASSA Racists, because that is a big problem for us here in South Africa. I want you to look at this image. If you look at that image there, thousands of us grew up like that. Thousands of us. But the racists, the black racists, are in denial about that. And there's a lot of white racists that are also in denial about it. I need you to take a good look at this picture. Look at that picture. There's 4 boys there. 2 white boys, 2 black boys. What are they talking about? We can only imagine. Do they care about apartheid? Do they care about the ANC or the DA or Freedom Front Plus? No, they don't care. To them, the only thing of importance is that cattle must get to the kraal, and they must get there in time and safe, and on the way there, these 4 boys will have a lot of fun amongst each other. Do they see white and black there? No. I know it. I grew up like that. But what is the difference here? Those 2 white boys, their parents are going to make sure that those 2 white boys get a good education, get a good qualification. Their parents is going to spend thousands of rands to make sure those 2 boys gets the best education possible. And those 2 black boys, their parents has the same dreams, but those 2 black boys are going to end up at a school that is dysfunctional, that has been politicized. There's not enough reading material, there's not enough books, there's not enough benches for them to sit on, there's most probably no windows in the classroom, and they're going to be 80 little black boys in one classroom. That is what the ANC has given you, the SASSA generation. That is what you got from the ANC. And still, you sit on Twitter and on Facebook and everywhere and you shout racism slogans, blaming the people that could actually help you. You blame them for your demise, while you yourself engineered your own demise. You are short-sighted. Look at that image again and think about what I was telling you. Think about it. And that is the reality. What your black government has done to you. Not the whites. The whites didn't do it to you. The whites didn't stop the technical colleges. The whites didn't stop investing in schools. The black government did it. So, think about that. Think about that. You don't have a future. Why? Because your black government don't want you to have a future. They've got other plans for you. Plans that doesn't include in you prospering and becoming a success. Plans that will most probably end up with you lying in a dusty street. Think about these things. Think about it before you start shouting racism, racism, racism. Think about it. The reality is, this SASSA generation, they are the people that are fueling the racism fires on social media. Some of them are brutally outspoken. They're also involved in a lot of the unrest in the streets. And the question is, why? The problem is those people, they never experienced apartheid. They were born after it. They did not live in a country where people were employed. They did not live in a country where the railways were functioning, roads were functioning, telephones were functioning, post office were functioning, clinics were functioning, hospitals were functioning. They never experienced anything like that. Most important, they never experienced functioning schools. Never. All they know is dysfunction. Everything is fucked up around them. If he wants to go to Home Affairs to get an ID, he will stand in a queue for 7 days before he gets help, and then when he gets to the counter, the person behind the counter looks on his watch and says, "Sorry, I'm going on lunch now." And then he must wait for an hour in the queue at the counter for that guy to come back from lunch. That is what they experience. That is their South African reality. But yet, they've got a lot to say about apartheid. What they don't understand, and they've never seen it, but they should take their cars and go in for a drive and take a look at all the empty warehouses in the industrial zones, all the shuttered up and closed engineering shops, all the steel plants that's closed, all the factories that were involved in textiles closed. That's all they see, dilapidation. That is why 55% of the population is unemployed. But they've got a big mouth about apartheid. What they don't understand is that this black government received a fully functional state and a fully functional economy. And during the sanctions years, which was long, the white Afrikaners proved to the world that we can make things happen. They sanctioned us with everything. What was the result? A textile industry with top quality textiles. Who can remember VK in Charleston? They produced school uniforms for the country. Bata shoes. The factories on Paarden Eiland making suits of world quality. Shirts, t-shirts, jeans, tracksuits, you name it. Everything was made here in South Africa. Everything. And it was top quality. And the most important is, behind every one of those shirts, every one of those nuts and bolts that you bought, every one behind that thread of cotton, behind every little roll of knitting wool, behind all of those things, that G6 cannons that you saw, those G7, those rattles that you saw, all of those things, behind all of that were millions and millions of jobs, job opportunities. Your SASSA generation, your previous generation, your elders, they were in a country where they had jobs. They could better their lives. They could look after their families. They could acquire things that they would like to have. Motor cars, televisions. Not that, only late in the 80s, televisions, radios, good clothing. Most important, they could get good education for their children. Look around you today. Doctors, black doctors, top qualifications. Qualifications they got from top performing universities. Engineers, lawyers, architects, accountants, name it. blacks all acquired those qualifications in a functioning system. What did this black government do to you, the SASSA generation? They destroyed all of that. They destroyed the industries, they destroyed the commercial side, they destroyed the education system. Everything was destroyed by them to leave you without a future. Your question that you must ask is, why did they do that? Instead of blaming apartheid, look at what the clever, evil Western cabal has done to your leadership, corrupted them to such a point that they sold your future, your lives. But yet, you sit on the social media and you swear at whites, you swear at Afrikaners, you drive the racism train. What you don't understand is that was all planned by the cabal. It was a plan by the cabal. Because what the cabal feared most was the South Africa of 1994 was suddenly expanded 10, 15, 20 times. Thousands of black businesses, thousands of black engineering works, millions of job opportunities, thousands of schools and education systems being erected and built. They feared that the most because they didn't want you to be part of a successful country. They didn't. Look what the fuckers tried to do with Russia just last year. They wanted to destroy Russian economy. They wanted to destroy the Russian industry. That's what they wanted to do. Plunge millions of Russians into poverty. Because that's what they want. Because that's the only way that they can maintain their superiority in the world. By keeping you poor and struggling. And you, the SASSA generation, you are a tool in their hands to do the same to South Africa. And they use you and racism to destroy the potential of you ever getting out of your poverty. Because they are shit scared that tomorrow you decide, fuck this, and you go and you visit a local small engineering shop and you start talking to the owner and you tell the owner about your aspirations and he says, no problem, I will help you. To get to do something like this that we see here, I see this is what you are interested in, this and this and this and this is what you must do. These are the things that you have to get. This is how you must manage the operation. And tomorrow, Sipho's engineering shop opens, he struggles. But when Pete next door gives a few jobs that he cannot cope with to Sipho, and Sipho learns. And in 5 years' time, Sipho's engineering shop is running and cooking with gas. And Sipho and Pete every Friday afternoon, they have a braai there in front of the shops and they sit and they talk about the week and they laugh and they have a beer. And between the two of them, they employ 40 people. This is the reality. Afrikaners like to deal with successful people. Afrikaners in general is always willing to share skills, to share knowledge. You SASSA generation, look around you at your parents. skills that they have, they learned from a white guy. A white guy taught them those skills. But you are blinded by your hatred. Against what? Against people that want to help you. People that can make you get a better future. That's what you are hating. And who's smiling? The elite in the ANC is smiling. Because the Western cabal is pumping them full of money to make sure that there are nobody in the country using the raw materials. So that you can see the truck trains as you see them going to Richards Bay and see them going to Maputo with the raw materials that they want for their economies. And meanwhile, your own country struggles to keep the lights on because the coal is going to Europe, the coal is going out. And you are too stupid to see that you are a tool. And I'm going to stop this now with a parting message. What do you think the cabal is planning for your future? Think. They don't school you, they don't educate you, they don't give you health services, they don't give you job opportunities. So you've got nothing. You will most probably never be employed in your life. Why? For that SASSA grant, they will whip you up to go into the streets and create chaos and pandemonium to make the country ungovernable. And in that process, they need rioters. You are the rioters. You have been bred to be cannon fodder. Go and look what they did in the Middle East. They killed 11 million people there. For the same reason that they are doing what they're doing in South Africa. They killed 11 million people. Do you think they're going to feel anything for you when you go down in the street with a bullet wound? Nothing. That is what they want. That's what they bred you for. Cannon fodder. But yet, you can sit on Twitter and on Facebook and scream and shout and swear at the whites. You stupid. You don't understand. You don't see it. And if I warn you, I'm a racist. Okay, call me a racist. I don't care. The reality is, you don't have a future, but you don't know it. You get qualifications at fucked up institutions that the rest of the world does not recognize your qualifications. The rest of the world doesn't recognize your matric. Damn it! The local businesses don't even recognize your matric. What is it? You are a fool. They blinded you. And you took the bait like a hungry carp and you're running. You don't know when that angler is going to strike and haul you in and put you on the fire. That's what's going to happen. So, on this Monday morning, you need to sit back and think and look at all our closed industries. Look at it and ask yourself why. But I'm going to stop now. You guys are all clever and you're educated. Think about these things. My opinion is, you are nothing but cannon fodder. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. If you think there's value in it, share it. The problem is, you've been bullshitted with this racism thing. And you think you are big and strong when you sit and tweet all those racist things. The problem for you is, a hell of a lot of people look at your tweets, shake their heads, because you don't know what you're talking about. Have a great day.